Hello, my friends. So excited to be here. I am Carissa Quaddy from Change Your Finances, and I love helping women just break through money struggles and gain financial peace with a biblical perspective. I wanted to talk about something real quick. I have I've been seeing a lot of, generational wealth and creating, having that generational wealth for your family. And I love generational wealth, love the concept of it, but it really got me thinking on what exactly is a financial legacy. And if you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear. But I don't think it's just generational wealth. I think that's part of it. But I think that creating a financial legacy that you pass down to your children's children has a whole lot more encompassed in it. For example, I firmly believe when you are in control of your money and you're able to have good money habits that you pass down to your kids. I mean, how many of us, we didn't have all the good money habits from our parents and it caused us to struggle? Anyone else? And those habits, like, I think that a lot of women struggle with, they feel like I'm such a failure and I did the wrong things, right? But you really didn't have good role models. Now, I had role models, my parents paid off their debt, but they didn't really show me how to handle money. And it was always money was super tight. There's just issues. It just always felt like this big mess. And what I've realized is managing your money and being in control of your money. That's one way you can pass down a financial legacy. And here's the thing. You're passing down a financial legacy regardless of whether you pass down generational wealth. The money habits, the money perspectives, the how you feel about money, how you handle money, all of that is what we pass down to our kids. Now, is that something you're excited to pass down? So I think financial legacy has so much to do with it. So how you feel about money. Like, are you in the camp of the fear about money, of guilt, of shame, of feeling unworthy? Or are you in the camp of, I've been given it as a steward, I'm managing it well, I'm confident, I have peace of mind about my money so I don't wake up in a panic? Like, what camp are you? Because I guarantee that will go passed down to your kids and to those around us, because it's not just to our kids that we're passing it down. But I tell you, people around us are watching. One of the things that early on for me really surprised me was that, and I had one sentence in my Christmas letter, that we had paid off our debt that year and we were now debt free. And I had so many people come up and ask me, like, Carissa, how did you pay off the debt? Like, what did you do? How much debt? And like, you paid off your debt? And they were just shocked. And I was really shocked at how many people talked to me about it. And, how many of my friends saw me, we paid off our debt within 2 years. I was paying all that money for school while supporting my family. They saw me do all these things and I didn't think anybody was watching. And they started asking me, like, how I was doing it. Could I help them? So, like, whatever you're doing with your finances, people are watching. And you're passing down a legacy, good or bad, maybe a mixture, of money habits, of money perspectives, of what you do. It's not just about generational wealth, although I think it is biblical to leave your children's children an inheritance. That's definitely found in the Bible. But if you make all the money and you pass it down to your kids, but you felt like money, you never had enough, felt all this fear and shame about money, is that pile of inheritance really going to do anything good if you've also passed down these negative money mindsets? I think you can pass down a financial legacy of, is our family, are we always paycheck to paycheck? Are we always stressed about money? Am I buried under a mountain of debt, and so that my children and my children's children, those around me, think that it's normal to be under that much debt and to be that stressed out? Is that the legacy you're passing down? Is that what you want to pass down? Or are you we're a debt-free family? We worked hard to pay off our debt. We had made money mistakes. We learned from them. We are choosing to save up money and pay cash for things instead of borrowing. Like, which one are you passing down? And which one do you want to pass down is the question. So debt is how you handle debt, how you approach debt, what your thoughts are on debt. That's something you pass down. Savings. Are we a family that never has any money in savings? When the card breaks down, when the water heater goes out, it's like this huge, big crisis because we have no money, because we're used to spending all of it. We haven't disciplined ourselves to put money aside for those things that we want, or those things like repairs that we know will come, we just don't know when. And does that also pass down like the attitude of, we can't afford that, we don't have any money, I want to go to Disneyland, but we can't, we just can't do that because we don't have the money? Those attitudes are passed down. And tell me if that's not true in your own life. If you haven't had those types of money mindsets, perspectives about money, attitudes about money from your own parents. You do stress over money. You hate that you pass down your stress to your 18-year-old. He talks about paying me rent to ease the burden, and I hate knowing he worries. That said, he sees me saving and paying off debt and cash flowing things. So it's a mixture. Definitely room for improvement. Right. We all have, none of us were born with all of this knowledge to manage our money well. We just weren't. It's a skill we learn. And depending on the role models that we had around us, maybe we didn't learn well. But that's not your fault. And that doesn't have to be your future, because it's a skill. You can learn a new skill. I can help you if you need help. I have coaching programs. I have do-it-yourself digital products. If you need help, reach out to me. But you can change your future. Regardless of what's happened in the past, you can change your future. One example I always use, because it's so powerful, is if I were to get on a plane, I'm here in Phoenix, and go to Chicago. But the pilot makes a small change on in the flight instruments, and I end up in Georgia. The same thing with your money. Small changes that you make today will put you on a path to creating a financial legacy that you're proud of, that you want to share with your family and your kids, your grandkids, those around you. What else do I think has financial legacy, or what's part of financial legacy? The generational financial bondage, poverty, the money or wealth is evil, that, those types of attitude, the debt, the never enough, like these things where you feel like you're doing well, and then all of a sudden you go right back. A lot of that can be generational things that are passed down, and we don't know. And if you do have some things that are passed down, which I think all of us do to an extent. You can certainly pray and break that and decide, moving forward, we're not passing that down anymore. We're changing it. We're changing the narrative, we're changing the story, we're changing it, and we're moving in a different direction. You have the influence as a woman, as a wife, as a mother or grandmother, to be able to make that change and to influence those coming after you. That's a gift that God has given you. It's also a responsibility. And what are you doing with that? Are you doing things differently now than you were maybe a year ago, 5 years ago? Is it something that you're continually learning and improving on? Let's see. How about this as a financial legacy? How do I say this? I don't want to come across and offend anybody. But in how you handle your finances in your family, is that kind of stingy and selfish? Or are you generous? Because I think as Christians, as believers especially, anyone can, but when you're a generous person, when you're a giver, and you're doing that with your finances, what an incredible trait to pass down. Generosity comes from knowing that what I have has been given to me. God has given it to me to provide for my family, to make an impact in His kingdom, to bless other people. And when I give, there's so much joy in giving and meeting a need for somebody. Have you, all those stories, I love these stories of, someone going to, in fact, I just heard about something yesterday. I'll share that one. Someone, they were trying to get across the street. Her foot's broken, so she's on one of those little scooter thingies, and they had to go all the way around and across, and, the sidewalk was not so good for her little scooter. And then they had a wasp, trying to attack them, trying to eat their food while they're eating. And, the kids are jumping up. She can't because she has a broken leg. And someone was watching them and ended up paying for their lunch. Those type of stories, or, leaving a waiter or a waitress, a huge tip, or buying somebody a car, those types of things that you can be generous with, paying somebody's light bill so they don't you can't do those if your money's out of control. If you're in debt into your eyeballs and you have no savings and you're worried about paying your own expenses for your family, as much as you want to, as much as you are that type of person, you don't have the means to be generous. Is this making sense to anyone? So while I think that generational wealth is something you should strive for, you should absolutely invest and have money set aside. If you're in business, that's a great way to do it. But even just saving money, living on less than you make, saving money, and having money to leave to your family is beautiful and godly and honorable. But if you really want to leave a financial legacy that you're proud of, if you want to leave something to your kids, you need to look at the whole picture. It's not just about leaving the money. It's our attitudes about money. It's how we handle all aspects of money. It's what we say. Now, do you, I know talking about wealth can be kind of weird. There's so many issues on that. But does any of this ring a bell? Has anyone in your family said oh, well, that must be nice to have all that money, or, they're so rich that they don't even know what to do with it, where it's implied that being rich is greedy or selfish, or that you shouldn't have more money, and wanting more is kind of a selfish thing, or that rich people are not greedy. What's the word? Evil. Rich people are evil. Riches are evil. Money is evil. Any type of comments like that growing up, because those are, I mean, here's what it is. If you get more money, it just amplifies who you are. So if you're already a generous person, which I know all of the women who follow me are, you guys are incredibly generous, it's going to make you even more generous. If you're rich and you have your money under control, now you can actually give and make a difference. If you're a jerk when you don't have any money and you get a lot of money, you're going to be even more of a jerk. But it's these attitudes, it's these things that we say about money, how we perceive money, how we handle, like I said, debt, savings, budgeting. Are we spending on our emotions? Is that something we're passing down? When I've had a bad day or I want to celebrate or something, I go buy something? Or, when I get money, am I immediately, tithing some of it as a thank you to God for blessing me with that? Am I saving some of it? Am I paying my bills? Am I able to give? Like, what are you passing down? So I just wanted to come on here because I think there's so much more than having a pile of money you leave in your will for your kids. I think there's so much more about a financial legacy that you can pass down, that you can do, and it's all small changes that you could start today. And the good thing is, in my years of working with thousands of women and helping them create a biblical financial legacy that they want to leave for their children's children, all that working with these women, I have seen that anyone, no matter what's happened, what mistakes you made, what situation you're at right now, what age you're at, anyone can change their finances going forward. Anyone can pay off debt much faster than all of those minimum payments say. Anyone can start to save money. Anyone can have their money under control. Anyone can break through their money mindsets. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. Like I said, what age you're at, how much income you have. It doesn't matter on any of those. I have worked with women on all across the board. And they've all been able to help. They've all been able to change their finances going forward. Some barely making any, some making a lot, like all across the board. And so if you are wanting to change the financial legacy in its entirety, leaving money to my children and everything else that goes along with it. If you want to do that quickly, rooted in the Word of God, and you need help, then reach out to me. Send me a DM. Give me the word legacy in the DM or whatever you want. I don't really care. And let me know how I can help you, because I know it's possible. I have tools and resources for you. If you want more coaching, I have that for you. I want to see you change your finances. I want to see you change the financial legacy that you pass down to your kids. Because I know in doing that, as you get control of your money, it not only changes and improves like your financial situation, you're able to get out of debt faster and save more money. It does that. But the real important thing, which I love, is it changes you as a woman. You now become confident in making wise financial decisions for your family. You get rid of that stress. You get rid of that fear. You don't have to live with that anymore. And then as you change, it changes your family. Because when you're not stressed about money, everybody's happier. There's a lot more peace in the home. But you're also changing what the attitudes and habits that you pass, that you're doing, that you're learning, that your kids are watching you. And when you're able to get your family's finances on a stable ground where you're, living on less than your make, you're in control of your money, you are paying off debt, saving money. When you get all of that stabilized, as you build wealth, as you increase your income, as you increase the money available, now you're able to be generous and make a difference in the world around you. So really, when you get control of your money and you change it and you decide, today I need to do something different, we're moving forward in a different path. When you decide that, everything changes and you end up changing the world. And that's what I want to help you do. So if you need help, I need to go to lunch because I have a meeting soon. But if you need help, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I don't bite. I just have this, ability that God's given me to break down money into simple steps that's easy to follow. And it has gotten thousands of women results over the years. And so if I can help you with that, it would be an extreme pleasure and honor. So I just want to pray real quick. Dear Father, I just thank you for how you care about money and how the simple decision to change my finances makes such a huge impact on everybody else around us, on our kids, on our children's children, on those who are watching. And so I just pray for these women, wherever they're at in their journey with their finances, that you would give them a willingness to say, I need to change. I need to do something different. If they need help and I can help them, Lord, I would be so honored. But give them the ability to do that, knowing that they are building up their family's finances. They are strengthening the foundation that they have for their family, and that's going to allow them to be generous and to make a difference in the world. And so I just pray that they would have joy and gladness and peace over their finances instead of the shame, instead of the worry, instead of the fear. And Lord, would you just break those off of them and replace that with praise and just thanksgiving for you for making such a huge change in their finances. And it's in your name I pray. Amen. All right, you guys, let me know if I can help you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll talk to you soon.